Multiplying rational expressions involving quadratics with leading coefficient of 1. We need to first factor each and every single numerator and denominator, and then we're going to be cross-simplifying. So we're going to start with the top one, and of course remember from last week we were factoring, and we found if we had a leading coefficient of 1 with our trinomial, we could actually, we know that we have to have 2 sets of parentheses, and we need factors of 3, multiples of 3, that will give us 4. So, of course, the only factors 3 has is 1 and 3, so that makes life a lot easier. And this is all addition, so we know that this has to be plus and this has to be plus. Okay. Now, the denominator, looking at both 4x minus 4, we see that we can take a 4 out. So we're taking a 4 out. We've got x minus 1. We're going to bring down our multiplication. Now, this numerator here is already simplified, so we don't have to do anything else there. But the denominator does need to be factored. Okay, again, we need factors of 3. Well, we know it's got to be 1 and 3. And we have to have x and x. But we have to have a negative 2, and we have to have a negative 3. So in order for that to happen, that means this negative has to go here, and positive here. Because negative 3 plus 1 would give us that negative 2, if we remember from last week. So once we have factored, then we're going to go through and we're going to cross as much things as we can out. So if you look here, we can take this and this are similar, so we can cross those out. And they have to be one in the numerator and one in the denominator, okay? And they could be stacked above each other as well. But they have to be one on top, one on bottom for them to cancel. This x plus 1 and this x plus 1 cancels. So here we've got x plus 3. It's the only thing left on top. On bottom, be very careful. Sometimes we kind of forget our whole numbers if they're kind of left alone. So we've got that 4 and then x minus 3. So this would be the answer for this particular example. Let's go ahead and do one more. So we've got 4x minus 12 over x plus 1. And then x minus 2 over x squared minus 9. Okay, again, we need to factor first. So on the top, we can take out a 4, and we're left with x minus 3. The bottom is already factored, so that's super. The top here is factored, but the bottom, this is difference of the squares. So hopefully you remember the difference of the squares means we've got 2 sets of parentheses. We're going to have an x plus and an x minus. And we take the square root of 9, which is 3. Okay, and now we cross simplify, so this cancels this. And so we actually have a little bit more left over than we did on our first example. So we've got 4x minus 2 on top. And then on bottom, you're going to want to put the first part here in parentheses. And then the x plus 3. So here's your x plus 1 here, and your x plus 3 for your denominator. And this is the answer to your second example.